Okay, so next section I'm going to show you how we can copy information from one spreadsheet to another spreadsheet. So right now we've got the spreadsheet and we're pretty much done. But what if we want to put the information out of this one into a new one? So first of all, I'll have to launch a new window of Excel. So I can go to the File tab, go New, and I'll use a blank workbook. And this blank workbook I'll put on the left, and I'll put the other one on the right. So they're side by side. So if I actually zoom out a little bit so that I can see it properly, to actually copy, we need to select what we want to copy. Okay, so if it's one contiguous area, I can just use my mouse and drag it over the whole area. And I'm going to copy. I can right click copy. I could go to the home tab and use the clipboard item and copy. And from here I can select some other options besides copying. So besides copying data, I can also copy as a picture if it's appropriate. Or I can use the Control C, which is a keyboard shortcut for copy. So Control C. And then when I want to paste, I will go to the destination worksheet and I will select the cell I want to start. So basically the top left hand corner is going to be in this cell. And I can actually right click and paste. And we can actually paste all of it. Just the values, the formulas, or transpose the things. And there's a whole heap of other things. Other ways of copying. Okay, so if I go to paste special, I can have more options. Okay, so I can paste formatting, just the formatting, paste that as a link, which means instead of actually linking it, instead of pasting the data in here, it's going to create a link that points to my original document. We can paste that as a picture, which means we can't do any calculations or change the figures anymore. It's just a picture. Or we can link it as a picture. We can actually paste the numbering and formatting, paste the value and formatting, but there's so many more. We can also go to paste specials, which allows us to paste so many other things as well. So we can paste all. We can actually, which basically means that you can paste the formulas, values, formats, comments, and validation. And we'll click OK to that. Okay, so you'll notice that my table doesn't look too right. The row width or the column width is too narrow. So we can do as we did before and adjust the columns widths one at a time, or we can actually do it all together, okay, if they're the same width. So if I want to do it all together, I just select all of them, I press the Control key, and I go to one of them. So see how my cursor changed from that white cross to a double-sided arrow with a line down the middle, and now I can adjust it to wherever width I want. In this case, I'm going to make it 13. 13. If my hands are steady enough, and you notice that it adjusts all of them. All right, so if we see all this, our formulas are copied in as well. You notice that I now have a formula bar. I noticed before I didn't have a formula bar. What's that? That's just basically this area here. And obviously to turn it on or turn it off, we can go to the view, and we'll get out of there. We can go to the View tab, and we'll make this full screen now first of all. And you can see in the Show group, there's the formula bar. If I actually take it away, you can see I'm missing that now. So I can put it back in, and this allows me to type in here rather than into the cell directly. Okay, so now that we've copied the content across, I'm gonna close the other one because I'm not working on that anymore. I'll just leave this one open as the only thing, and I'll zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see. And what I'll do is I'll save this as a different file. So this is a new file. Right now it's called book 1, but really no one names it book 1. So we're going to save as. So it's a different file than the previous one. So that's why we have to click save as. So I'm going to, I should have selected my computer first, then click browse. And that will browse my computer. And I'm going to put it into the same place as the other file. And instead of calling it Alex assignment example A, I'm going to select it. You notice I selected it, copied the file name directly in here, but then I'm going to click my mouse on the area I want to change, and I'm going to call this B, example B, and I'll click save. All right, so at this point, I want to actually insert some more data. So this has got some data, and let's say our cafe, we've got these 3 items for so long, and now we've got a new item. So I want to insert another row into this table. So the key thing is, where do I want to insert it? If I want to insert it above cakes, for example, I will select the row where cakes is, row 7, and then I would right click and I would insert. You notice that it puts a whole new row above the old 7, which is now the row is actually 7 again, and the row with the cakes on there is 8. So now what is the new item we've got for sale? We've got for sale at our cafe. Let's say we've got sandwiches now. And the cost of the sandwiches, well, this is a very expensive cafe. So if the cost of the sandwiches was is $15, how much would we sell it for? If we're selling cakes for $20, we're going to sell these sandwiches for $22. And how many sandwiches did we sell today? We're going to sell 9. It's a very hungry customers today. And obviously we do not have a formula for this to work out the profits, but we know that we had the formula up here. So what we can do is actually do the same thing we did before and use the fill to actually drag it down and put the new formula in. Okay, and you notice, but because all these things were done with formulas, when we inserted that row, this cell, which had the sum, also included that new one, the new row that was inserted. So when I've added the profits in here, it actually automatically calculated the total profits. You also notice that the formatting is exactly the same as the previous, all the other rows. And that's because I inserted it within this area.